The 7 levels of wealth. Where are you? Hi everyone, I'm Ava, and welcome back to your financial journey. When it comes to wealth, a lot of people think that being financially successful means having a certain number in your bank account or on your paycheck. But the reality isn't so clear-cut. As my mom likes to say, everyone's financial journey is different. And even though my mom and dad's financial journeys were similar, they had some distinct nuances as well. Likewise, you and I will go through a lot of different stages on our financial journeys through life, with challenges and successes along the way. And sometimes it can be hard to tell exactly where we are or what our current focus should be. So in today's video, we'll be sharing with you an acronym that often comes up at our Lammer family dinner conversations, SUCCESS. And these 7 letters, SUCCESS, are how we summarize the 7 levels of wealth. We'll explain what it means to be in each level, what your priorities should be, and give you some tips on how to keep climbing to the next stage of wealth. Let's get started. 1. Survival. Our first stage of wealth is survival, where, as the name suggests, you're just barely scraping by. If you're constantly worried about money and feel like you can never get ahead, no matter how hard you work, it's likely a sign that you're in this stage. You might be living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to pay your bills, and/or relying on a credit card or previous savings to get by. Even the smallest emergency, like a flat tire or sprained ankle, can throw everything into chaos. And unsurprisingly, the constant stress about money can be pretty emotionally draining and exhausting, which can make it hard to focus on and enjoy other things in life. To break this cycle, you'll need to start saving and build a small emergency fund that'll give you some breathing room. Track everything you spend, and cut anything you don't absolutely need. Look for small wins like price discounts, selling unused items, or picking up part-time income. Remember that every dollar counts. Even $50 or $100 is enough to get you started. The important part is to start saving it all and get out of the cycle of just barely scraping by. Because once that's done, you're not living hand in mouth anymore and can move on to the next stage of wealth building. 2. Uncertainty. You've reached the second stage of wealth once you've escaped the worst of your financial crises. That's a big step, but your financial situation is still fragile. You might not be falling behind every single month, but you're not consistent with your earning and spending either. You can usually cover your bills and have a bit of money saved, but that small buffer can disappear fast. Unexpected expenses can still cause panic, and one emergency could still be enough to send you right back to where you were, or survival. Your new goal in this phase should be to get out of the uncertainty zone and into a stable, sustainable rhythm with your money. You can do that by building a solid financial foundation. Create a budget that actually works for your lifestyle, and get a clear idea of all your debts and accounts. You should also increase your emergency savings to cover a few months of expenses, and start making consistent debt payments. Even if the amounts you save and pay off are small at first, they're the foundation for good money management and a stable financial future. With consistency and hard work, it'll get you to the third stage of wealth. 3. Consistency. If you're in stage 3, you've reached consistency, and that's a major turning point in your financial journey. You have a good idea of what's coming in and going out every month, and you have at least 1 month or more of emergency savings that you're continuing to build out. While you might still have the occasional feelings of uncertainty from the previous stage, there's no more panic about what might happen if your paycheck gets delayed by a few days, and you're starting to feel some stability under your feet. At this point, you've created a budget that works for your lifestyle and reliably earn enough income to cover your living expenses. You've probably started trying to pay off your high-interest debt, even if you haven't finished it off completely yet. What's important is that you're able to stick to the plans and budget you've created. But there's a danger at this stage, and that's complacency. Once the constant worry about money begins to subside, it can make it a bit too easy to feel a bit too comfortable. And you might stop pushing forward in your financial journey because things are good enough. Remember that consistent isn't the same as secure. So your next goal should be to move from sticking to a budget to establishing a long-term plan. Start doing research into things that can help you save in the long term, like improving your credit scores, establishing sinking funds for upcoming expenses, and purchasing insurance you haven't considered before, such as health and/or life insurance. Develop a plan to pay off your debts completely. This may even be a good time to start thinking about opening up a Roth IRA or making small investments. These steps will bring you to the fourth stage of wealth. 4. Certainty. When you're at this fourth stage, certainty, you've moved beyond just being consistent. You've developed a deeper level of financial control and confidence. It means that rather than just following your budget and hoping it will work, you know it will. You've built up 3 to 6 months of emergency savings and have either paid off most of your high-interest debt or are following a plan to close in on it. You might have automated your finances so that bills, savings, and even investment contributions can happen without you needing to stress over them. The healthy financial habits you've developed are now second nature, and you can manage your money with clarity and purpose rather than anxiety. So for example, if a sudden expense comes up, you know your emergency fund can cover this. If you spend too much in one day or 1 month, you know that you can offset this by spending less tomorrow or the next month. The emotion that characterizes this stage is calmness. You know where your money is going and have gained the discipline and structure to deal with challenges when they arise. But most importantly, you trust yourself to stick with your plan, which means your focus should shift towards building wealth in the long term. Now might be the time to figure out how much money you'll need for retirement and how much money you'll need to save. Research different kinds of savings accounts and investment options and put money into your savings and investments consistently. Those actions will move you into the next stage of wealth. 5. Expansion. Expansion is the level where real wealth building begins. You're earning more than you need, and you're focused on how to use that extra money strategically. You might have more than one source of income, and you're investing regularly, be it retirement accounts, index funds, or other assets. You might be thinking about buying a home, starting a business, or building a stronger investment portfolio, or maybe you're even paying off long-term debt like a student loan or mortgage. As you start seeing your net worth go up and your money work for you, your primary emotion when it comes to money should shift from relief to excitement. What's important is to channel that momentum for intentional and strong growth, because this is also the point when people may be lured into making risky moves. There might be a temptation to chase quick wins like exotic investments, crypto, or high-paying risky bonds. So remember that the goal of expansion isn't just more now, but sustainable long-term growth and investments. Always balance the risk against the potential rewards, and think about things like career opportunities, different savings accounts, and diversifying investments. That can help take you to the next stage of wealth. 6. Strength. Our 6th stage of wealth is strength, and it's when you finally start to feel truly well off. Your finances are strong, stable, and resilient. Your investments are generating income, you've diversified your assets, and you're well insured and legally protected. You can wield your money as a tool to create opportunities, enjoy life, and help others. At this point, you've most likely spent years building your wealth and have achieved a deep sense of security. You might be focused on advanced tax strategies, estate planning, or college funds for kids. That means the focus slowly starts to shift from growing wealth to protecting it. You might want to rebalance your portfolio into less risky investments and have financial conversations with family, and start creating a financial plan beyond just your lifetime. That brings us to the final stage of wealth. 7. Success. The final level is success. In our mind, success is when you've reached true financial freedom. You'll know you've reached this stage once you're living life on your own terms rather than what your money allows you to do. You work because you want to, not because you have to. You have more than enough to live comfortably, and you can use your money to support the people and causes that matter to you. Success doesn't mean you should stop growing or protecting your wealth, but it does mean that you should stop the constant money worries that may still be on your mind. Because at this point, your investments cover your lifestyle and your estate is planned out. You reach the point where your money supports your family, health, relationships, and missions. Because, let's not forget, money shouldn't be a goal in itself, but rather, it should make life better for you, the people you love, and the values you really care about. Whatever the definition of better may be for you. So after years, or usually decades, of hard work, you can finally spend more time and energy on the things that matter, like family, hobbies, or simply enjoying the fruits of your labor. Keep in mind, though, that even when you reach the success level, it does not mean that you should neglect your finances completely and/or do erratic things with your money. For instance, going to the casino and betting the family fortune at the poker table probably isn't wise even when you've hit the 7th level of success. Likewise, we might reach financial success at a certain point in life, but then something happens that might push us back to a previous level of wealth, such as when we have to find a new job, get married, have a child, send that child to college, or have to deal with the death of a loved one. And if and/or when this happens, we would need to reassess our finances and come up with a plan to get back to the 7th level of success. So which level of wealth do you fall into? And more importantly, what's your next step? Drop a comment below and let us know. Whichever stage you fall into, though, remember that wealth isn't just built overnight. It takes years of time and effort. That's why understanding success is so crucial. It can give you a framework and help you better understand where you are on your financial journey and what the steps are to take control of your money so that you can keep moving to the next level. And if you want to give your financial journey a big boost, check out this video here from my sister Caitlin on the 8 millionaire money habits that our parents have taught us over the years. And make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.